Well, guys, I did it. I did the scary thing. I shut down the other channel and I moved everything over to here. And it is pretty scary. Especially, I mean, I think I started that YouTube channel. It was originally called Simple Programmer over 10 years ago. It would have been, gosh, when was the first video out on that channel? I mean, it's probably 13 or 14 years, if not more than that, honestly. It's been a long time, right? And moving on and doing something different is pretty scary. And I'm not doing something completely different. Obviously, I'm still making these videos, but I'm making it on this channel, this new channel. I only have 1,000 subscribers here. That's crazy. I have 360,000, 370,000 subscribers on that other channel, right? It's something that I should have done a long time ago. When I first switched from Simple Programmer to Bulldog Mindset, I simply changed the channel name and I started a new Simple Programmer channel instead of creating a new Bulldog Mindset channel. And had I had created a new Bulldog Mindset channel instead of the Simple Programmer ones, I think that probably things would have gone differently. I think the channel would have been better. Now, I made a lot of mistakes on that channel. I think the biggest one that I made was putting shorts on that channel. I think that really hurt it. I just watched some videos where guys are finally coming out and saying, look, if you put shorts on your channel and your shorts became really successful, it probably killed the long form videos on your channel. It probably really killed your channel. And, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I do think that that is what happened to me with that channel. And, I kind of knew it for a long time, but I tried a lot of things. I tried creating really high quality videos at the beginning of this year, and that didn't really work. I mean, it worked to a degree. I got some videos that did over 300,000 views, but I was spending like $2,500 or more on a video, and I was not getting anywhere close to the return on that, and not just the return monetarily, but the views. I mean, most of the videos were getting like 10, 12,000 views, which isn't a horrible amount. I mean, especially compared to this channel now, I'm getting 400 views, but I was losing heart because I couldn't see growth. Right. And so I'm actually more excited about this channel, even though it's really small at this point, and also the Stoic channel that I created and the podcast, new podcast I'm doing, because even those things are small, they are growing, right? At least I'm seeing growth right now. Hopefully they continue to grow. And that is so important. I realized this year just how important growth is, and without growth, you're going to be unhappy. You will be depressed. You will be unhappy if you don't feel like you're growing. And it doesn't even really matter. It's sort of like this: growth and happiness is sort of like acceleration versus speed, right? So you could ride in a car at 120 miles an hour, and it won't really feel like you're going very fast. I mean, you can see things going by, and you can know that you're going fast. You can look at the speed limit and maybe, or the speedometer, and maybe you might be a little bit scared because you know how fast you're going and you could feel the bumps in the road, but you won't really feel the speed because you get used to it. Just like when you're flying in an airplane, right? You don't feel that you're going 300 miles an hour or 400 miles an hour, something like that. However, if you get into a car, for example, I have a Tesla, right? When I first got this thing, I put my foot on the accelerator, ludicrous speed, or just slammed the accelerator, and the thing goes from 0 to 60 very quickly. So if you were to go from 0 to 120 miles an hour in like 1 second, you would feel that, right? And so I think that it's kind of the same way. It's like acceleration is what you feel, and growth is what you feel, right? It's not the speed, it's not the success or where you're at, and that's why a lot of people become successful, I think, and that they don't feel anything different. In fact, they become depressed, is because sometimes the higher you go, the harder it is to have growth again. And so you don't feel that. You just don't have that feeling anymore. And I miss that feeling. I miss, it's so funny because I go back and I look at, I was talking to my friend Captain Sinbad, Nikhil, when he came down here, and even when, I first met him and I was looking at his channel and I was like, man, I envy you. I miss those days. I miss the days. Like I know what he's going through. Like it was so cool when I was first, really getting buff and jacked and really running marathons for the first time, and learning how to talk to women, and all of these things, these skills that I was learning and developing myself and building my business and starting to make some money. And it was like all of those things were growth, right? And I got to this point of success, and even though I was successful, I wasn't so happy anymore because I wasn't growing anymore. And and I realize that, Tony Robbins says, if you're not growing, you're dying. And, yeah, I get that. But now I really get that, because it's not just dying. It's just that you're dying inside. And that's the thing that really troubled me. And it still does to a degree. I mean, I still am not experiencing the same kind of growth. And there's still this part of me that is sort of caught in between, right? And you can see it. I mean, I make a video like this, and you know who I am, right? You can see through me, right? I'm transparent, right? But I make a lot of videos even still now as I'm making these daily videos. And I'm trying to communicate a message, yes, but you can tell that it's not something that where my heart is 100% entirely in. And I'm trying to straddle that fence, but I'm trying to really go deep into this. And that's why I haven't even added editing to these videos yet, because I'm not ready for it yet. I'm not trying to, I want to really get down this again, to be able to talk to you, to be able to talk to the camera, to talk about these things. And then we'll put the bells and whistles on it. And so I don't know how long this phase is going to take. I honestly don't know. I mean, I do know that I will come out the other end. I do know that I will experience that growth again. And I'm starting to see it again. You know what I mean? I'm hesitant to say that I'm there, because as soon as I say I'm there, I'm going to have a shitty week and I'm going to be down in the dumps, and I'm going to know that, it's going to fall apart. But it just looks different now. It looks different, right? Because the things that I have grown in before, I can't grow in again, right? It's going to be a different kind of growth. And I am experiencing that to a degree. Like I said, it's a much deeper type of growth. But even things like this, like starting a new channel, right? A lot of people were against that. And some people are like, oh, that's crazy. You have all these subscribers and whatnot. And I tried to get a lot of you guys here. I mean, some of you guys have seen my videos on the old channel. You've come here, whatever, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I mean, I'll advertise it for sure, but I really only want people who want to be here, right? Because that's kind of the point. It's like, I don't want to be, and I made some mistakes on the old channel before I quit it, right? There was a period of time where I was making these kind of clickbaity videos. I mean, the real heart of the Bulldog Mindset was when I was doing the 2 videos a day and just, making book summaries and all this stuff, but it was scattered, right? Okay, so I went down to like a daily video, and then I went to 3 videos a week, and those 3 videos a week I was trying to come up with these great ideas and stuff, and but I was halfway between putting in the full effort and just getting these videos out and trying to make these clickbaity videos, and I lost a lot of people, lost a lot of confidence there, and I'm human, I'm fallible, you know what I mean? I also started marketing hard. And, and I want to market, but I want to do it in the right way now. And I realize that, like, hiring a lot of people and getting people to try to put out my message and to market for me, that doesn't work so well. It just doesn't feel very authentic. So I kind of have to rebuild all these things. And what's hard is that when you've got all these pieces, how do you do it, right? It's like refactoring some code, some old code base. I have an old code base of brand, and I have to refactor this thing, right? And so that's what I'm working on doing now. And at least I'm very happy with the video quality. I think I've mastered video quality, camera settings, lighting. I'm good with that. I feel like that that feels like growth to me. It does, and it's these small things that I realize are the growth. I really enjoy doing the podcast I'm doing with my wife, Nicole, and we're doing a weekly podcast, and that thing's actually growing pretty fast. I don't know where it'll be in the next year, but I'm excited to see where it's going to be. And it feels like something that I can put the work into and see the progress. And that's the thing. It's like, I just want stuff that I can put the work into and see the progress. And I think also that's kind of just what's happened with social media lately is, back when I first got started, I talked about this idea of being prolific. And I was like, if you're prolific, that's the thing, right? And being prolific still works, don't get me wrong, but it works so much better then because you could just put in the work and you knew you were going to get results, right? Back in the day when I started my blog on Simple Programmer, if I made more articles, I got more views, and it eventually grew from doing that. And when YouTube started out, when I was starting out on YouTube, man, the more videos I made, the more views I would get and the more subscribers, and I would see that growth. But even the same thing with Instagram and all these other platforms. But now it's become such that it doesn't really matter how many subscribers you have. It doesn't matter how much success you had in the past. I mean, to a degree. It does still. But for the most part, a lot of these algorithms have evolved to the point where there's so many people competing for attention. There's so many, quote, influencers out there that it doesn't matter. and so you can't just guarantee that if you put in the work, you're going to see the growth. Like you have to put in not just the work of creating the content, but of improving the content, of creating better content, of having the right content, the right strategies, talking about the right things. And that's hard. And it's disheartening to a degree. And that's why I think a lot of creators nowadays are getting burnt out. And I think the reason why is because you can't rely on just putting in the work. Burnout becomes a thing when you don't feel like you have power, when you don't feel like you can grow. And that's where I've been for a long time. And so I'm kind of making the shift also where it's like, maybe I don't have to grow by numbers. Maybe I just grow by myself, like, by creating, for example, this better lighting and this better scene. And I know it's better, and I know it's good. And I know that I've gained some mastery, and maybe it's by creating these videos where, hey, like I feel good about this video. I feel good that I'm talking to you right now like a human being, and we're having this conversation, and I'm being vulnerable in front of the camera and telling you how I really feel. And I feel good about this video, and I'll keep on growing in that way. And even if there's not more views on the videos, at least like I know that I'm growing. And I think that's what matters. I think that's ultimately what has to shift here. But yeah, I'm still confused. I'm still trying to figure things out. But I'm finding a way. Like I said, I've got the Stoic channel that I'm creating. I'm enjoying doing that. I'm using AI to create the thumbnails for that, and it feels right. They look right. People are really liking that. It's not, the click through rate on those videos is like 2 or 3% because YouTube shows it to people and they're like, no, I don't want to click on this, right? But it doesn't matter because the people that get it, that love this stuff, they watch every video. They watch it every single day. And that's what I really want, right? I don't need 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel, but I want guys that are going to watch every day, that are going to like the videos every day, that really feel like the things that I'm creating are valuable. I don't want to just create stuff that just is entertainment for the masses, because it's not valuable to me. It doesn't feel like growth to me. Even if I got a lot of views, it wouldn't feel like growth to me. And I think that was part of the reason or part of what was going on with some of the higher quality videos that I was creating, which again, I wrote these awesome scripts for it. I loved doing that, and I want to do some more of that. But to some degree, like I started to get to this point where I was like, okay, well, let me A/B and test all these thumbnails and titles and all this stuff, and just it felt wrong to change the things in order to get more views, in order to reach more people, people that I don't care about. I'll see you tomorrow.